Hey guys, I want to give you some tips on how you can start sleeping. And you might be wondering like, hey, what do you mean? I sleep every single night. I don't need to be told how to go to sleep. Well, the problem is a lot of people sleep, but they don't sleep well. So I'm going to give you some tips that can help you fall asleep faster, help improve the quality of your sleep, and even help get rid of some of your stress, and just improve your overall functioning in general. Because the better and the more you sleep, the more that your body can recover and the more that your brain and your body can function the next day. So the first tip I have is to keep your bedroom cool. So I personally like to keep my bedroom at around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe even a little bit cooler than that. Some people might even go a little bit colder. Now, why do you want your bedroom to be cold before you go to sleep? Well, if your body's already cold, then this can help you fall asleep faster. Because when you sleep, everything kind of slows down in your body, because your body is now in a state of recovery and also your body temperature drops. So now if you already make the room colder, it will already kind of signal to your body that, hey, I'm already starting to get colder, maybe it's time to start going to sleep. So now if you already put your room colder and already put your body a little bit colder, it will make it a little bit easier for you to fall into that sleep state. And also it can help release a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin is this hormone that's released when it's time to go to sleep, and it has something to do with your circadian rhythm. So this actually brings me to tip number 2, which is to keep some sort of regularity. Your circadian rhythm is basically your body's sleep-wake cycle. So this is your body's internal clock that tells you when it's time to wake up and when it's time to go to sleep. So when you wake up in the morning and you see sunlight, you have a hormone that's released that's called cortisol. And this is also a hormone that's released when you have stress or when your sympathetic nervous system is activated. Throughout the day, your body will have less and less cortisol, and you'll start to get more and more of this melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. If you keep this sleep-wake cycle around the same time every single day, so every day you're waking up around the same time and every day you're going to sleep around the same time, this will keep your hormones in check. So this will help keep your cortisol levels normal and also help keep your melatonin levels normal. Now this is very important for your body to function normally because all of our hormones are so important. And if one gets out of control, then it can make our body react in some weird ways. And this also brings us to tip number 3, which is to keep your room dark. So again, as the day goes on, you'll have less cortisol released and you'll have more melatonin released. And melatonin is also released more when it gets dark outside. So if you're going to sleep and there's some lights on outside, or if there's a light on inside your bedroom, then your hormones are going to be kind of confused. Like, do I start releasing my melatonin now? Is it time to go to sleep, or are we still going to stay up because I still see light outside? So it's better to keep your room really dark and not have any light around you, because now your melatonin can be activated and now your body can start to go to sleep. Now you want to have some sort of system where as it starts to get daylight outside, that sunlight will start to enter your room. So you don't want it to be pitch black the whole time, because now you'll never know when it's time to wake up. But when you're actually going to sleep, it's better to have darkness. Now that also means you need to get rid of those phones and those other devices around you. If you always have those devices around you and you're always looking at that blue light on your phone, then again, that's going to keep you awake more and it's going to suppress that melatonin. Tip number 4 is to start breathing through your nose. Now, I know a lot of you have nasal problems or allergies where it's really hard for you to breathe through your nose. Well, there's actually some tricks you can do to help get rid of a stuffy nose and to start breathing through your nose again. And I actually made a video on exactly that, and I'm putting a link to that video in the description below. So make sure you check that out. But there are a ton of benefits of breathing through your nose that you do not get from breathing through your mouth, especially when you're sleeping. One, when you're breathing through your nose, you're taking a lot slower and deeper breaths, and you're more likely to fill up your lungs all the way, to use your lungs' full capacity. Because when you're a mouth breather, you're really taking these shorter, more shallow breaths, and you're just doing this upper chest breathing where you're only using the upper half of your lungs. Now, when you're using your entire lungs capacity, one, you're breathing more efficiently, you're using oxygen more efficiently, and you're also helping deliver more oxygen to all the cells in your body. And more oxygen to your body and more oxygen to your brain means that you're going to be sleeping better, getting more deep sleep, and you're also going to be recovering a lot better. Also, if you are breathing through your nose, you're less likely to snore and less likely to have sleep apnea. And there are many studies on this, but basically what happens is when you're breathing through your nose, usually your tongue will rest against the roof of your mouth. And when your tongue is resting against the roof of your mouth, Now this is helping open up that airway. Whereas suppose if you were a mouth breather, now your tongue is not on the roof of your mouth. Instead, it's falling back to the back of your mouth. And this can cut off your breathing, and this is what causes that snoring sound. And if this gets really bad, your tongue can fall all the way to the back of your throat, and this can completely cut off your breathing, and this is also what's known as obstructive sleep apnea. Now, when you think about like nose breathing and different breathing techniques, something else that comes to mind is meditation, because a lot of this meditation is just focusing on your breathing. And a simple breathing tip you can use is to start breathing really slowly, deep breaths through your nose and out through your nose. So I actually made another video on different breathing exercises you can do to start lowering your anxiety and your stress. I'm putting a link to that video in the description below as well. Now, tip number 5, another thing that can help lower your stress, especially when you're about to go to sleep, is to create a list. Now, I want you to put on this list all the things you accomplished today and all the things that you still have to do for the rest of the day or the rest of the week, all the goals that you want to establish. It's better to do this and to write it all out and get it out of your head, because otherwise it's going to be stuck in your head and you're going to be jumbling all these different things that you have to do, all these different things that are going to stress you out. Now, instead, if you simply have it written out in front of you, now you don't have to worry about it as much because it's clearly all right there. Now, number 6, I'm gonna give you a little bonus here. Avoid the alcohol and caffeine, especially when it's towards the evening time. What? You're telling me I can't drink alcohol at nighttime? How am I supposed to party? When you drink alcohol, especially before going to bed, that's gonna give you less of your deep sleep, specifically less of your REM sleep. Your REM sleep is where your dreaming occurs. And this is also very important for memories and new memories to occur. Although alcohol will help you fall asleep faster because it is a sedative, that quality of sleep is gonna suck and you're not gonna be recovered that well, and the next morning your body will not thank you. And it's kind of similar with caffeine. If you drink a lot of caffeine, especially later in the day, like in the evening time, like with your dinner, then you're not gonna have as much of that deep sleep. And now you're gonna be more likely to be unrefreshed in the morning, and you're gonna be more likely to drink even more coffee. So you can see how it turns into this never-ending cycle that can lead to an addiction. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video, and if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below. I will see you in the next video.